Everyone, this evening I'll be showing you how to do a 1-point perspective drawing in normal eye view. So I'm going to ask you to get your pens, get your pencils rather, get your erasers, get your rulers, and your drawing books or scrapbook, whatever you draw on, a piece of paper, whatever you draw on. Alright, so I'll be drawing freehand because I'm using a whiteboard and it's a little bit uncomfortable for me to use a ruler on the whiteboard, but I'm hoping that by following the steps that I'm going to show you, you will be able to do the same drawing but just a little neater. So when we're drawing in perspective, there are 3 guidelines that we use. We use a horizontal line, which we call a horizon line in perspective. We use a vanishing point and some diagonal lines, which we call orthogonal lines. Alright? So please remember these. Horizon line. We have this is called a vanishing point. And here we have an orthogonal line. Alright, so these are the 3 guidelines that we're going to be looking at as we do our perspective drawing. Let's go! Alright, we're going to draw a horizon line just below the center of our paper. Remember now that you're using your ruler. Alright, that's the first step. The next step is to add a vanishing point. Now we're not going to draw the vanishing point in the middle of our paper, we're going to draw it off the middle. Whether you put it on the left or on the right, just ensure that it's not in the middle. Now when you're drawing your vanishing point also, please do not draw the dot. Don't do that. This is incorrect. Just put down your pencil and allow it to make a mark. Alright? See, you can hardly see this, but that's how you should do it. So I'm going to make a mark there. Next, we're going to draw a rectangle. Don't allow the middle of your rectangle to be too narrow, okay? We don't want it to be too narrow right here. We're drawing a house, by the way, so this is going to be the front of the house. All right, it's a little drawing. As you get mature, you will be able to do even better. All right, so once we have drawn the square, we're going to erase the part of the horizon line that we're seeing. We don't want to see through this. Now you're going to get your ruler and you're going to align the top of your rectangle with your vanishing point. Alright, and then you are going to connect them. Alright, let me see if I can draw this a little better. Right, you do that, and you're going to do the same thing to the bottom. Line up your ruler with the vanishing point and the bottom as well as the top. Alright, now what you're going to do, we're going to draw a parallel line. Now when we're drawing in perspective, linear perspective, we use a lot of parallel lines. Now as you know, parallel line are 2 lines that go in the same direction but they never meet. So the parallel line that we're going to be drawing should be a vertical line, and it must be parallel to the side of your box. So one of the things that I try to use to help me to draw my line straight is I line up my ruler with the side of my paper and I slide it over to where I want my vertical line to be, and then I just draw it there. Now if you're drawing your line and it looks like this, then you know it's incorrect. Can you see that? Can you see this line here? Let me pull this up some more. Right, so if you're drawing your line and you realize that it looks like this, then you know that your line is not vertical. All right, another way to know if your line is lean is to put down your ruler against the line, and if you realize that the top of your ruler, when you compare it to the side of your page, if you notice that it is wider at the top and narrow at the bottom, or vice versa, then you know that your line is lean. So if your line is like this, then you know it's incorrect. Alright, so now that we have our vertical line, we're going to erase this part of the line that we're seeing here. Alright, now we can also erase the guidelines that we also used. Alright, do not erase your vanishing point. Your vanishing point, all your diagonal lines will go back to the same vanishing point, okay? Alright, so now I know that top of my house is a little bit sunken, right? Alright, let's try to fix it. That looks better. Alright, so now let's put on a roof. Let's put on a roof, alright? So we're going to draw an intersecting line. And we're going to start from this corner of our square to this corner. Alright? And we're going to do this to the next side. Wherever the lines intersect, it means that that's the middle of our shape. We're going to draw a vertical line. We don't want it to be too far up. We don't want it to be too far down. If it's too high, it's going to appear to be a church. And if it's like a barn, and if it is too low, it's going to look more like a church. Well, so don't go up too high and don't go too low. Alright, so once we have drawn that, I'm going to erase these guidelines. And every time we use the guidelines, you are to draw them very light so that they can be easily erased. Okie dokie. Now that we have that, we know where the center of our house is. Mine looks a bit off-centered, maybe because the bottom of my house is a bit lean. Alright, so I'm going to do this one over. And let's see if I get a better line. Yep. It looks a bit better, don't? Yeah, I think so. So let me erase these guidelines again. Alright, so now that we have our vertical line, we're going to use our ruler and we're going to align the top of the vertical line with the corner of the house, and we're going to draw a diagonal line and allow it to extend a little beyond the point there. And we're going to do that to the other side. Alright, now we can erase this part of the line. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to line up the top of our, we can call this a triangle. We're going to align the top of our triangle with our vanishing point like this. And we're going to draw our orthogonal line. Alright, now you're using a ruler, so yours must be much better than mine. Alright? Now we're going to go again. We need to draw a line that is parallel to this diagonal line. Alright, so what you're going to do is align your ruler with the diagonal line and slide it over. We need a line to come somewhere right here to indicate the end of our house. Alright, the end of our roof. So align your ruler, slide it down, and draw your diagonal line like this. Alright, now we can erase this guideline. We keep erasing the guidelines so that we don't get confused. Okay? Now we're going to draw the end section of our roof. Remember we extended this line a little, so we're going to finish it up now. So we're going to align the bottom of the line with our vanishing point, and we're going to draw our guideline like so. And then we're going to erase this part of the roof now because we're not seeing through the roof. Alright? So that's what we're going to have. Whoopsie. Now we can erase this part of the line. Good? Alright, so we're going to do the same thing to this end. We're going to align it, but this time, instead of drawing a line right through the house, we're just going to line up our ruler with the edge of this line and we're going to stop the line right where it would have stopped even if we had drawn the line through. Okay, so now you have it on both sides. Now we're not going to square this up and put in ledges and so on. It's just the concept to get you to understand how the perspective idea works. Okay, all right, so now we have that. Let's put in a door and two little windows. So we need some parallel lines here. So we're going to use our ruler, and we don't want our door to be too narrow. Oops. All right, so I'm just using my ruler. Since I'm doing a smaller drawing, I'm just using my ruler. Remember now that you don't want your door to be too narrow, because that tends to happen. But these vertical lines must be parallel to the edge of your house, parallel to the edge of your paper. That's how you're going to know that they're straight. And you do the same thing for your window. All right, remember you're using your ruler to do this, okay guys? You're using your ruler. All right, so there we have that simple drawing. All right, and we're just going to leave those shapes there. Notice I'm calling them shapes because they're that for now. All right, so now we want to put in two windows in the side of our house. All right, so what you're going to do is draw a vertical line to indicate the length of your window. Let me draw it a little brighter. You're indicating the length of your window. Then you're going to align the top of your vertical line and the bottom of your vertical line to the vanishing point. All right, now that you have that, you can draw another vertical line parallel to the first one to indicate the length of your window. And if you need another window further down, you can always add it. All right. Now we can erase the guidelines, and we have two shapes that appear to be windows. All right, so these two, both the top and the bottom, should be in line. All right, mine does not look so in line. All right, let me see if I can correct it. All right, that's a little better. All right, remember that all these lines, all the vertical lines, should be parallel to the corner of your house and the corner of your page. Let's go and try to finish this quickly. All right, so now we're going to draw some orthogonal lines. So from the vanishing point, you're going to draw a line that extends all the way to the edge of your paper on that side and on this side. All right, now we're also going to draw another set of orthogonal lines. So from the vanishing point, you're going to draw another line right there, right above the first one that you drew, and we're going to draw another one right above the first one. This one. All right, now this is going to be where our shrubs are going to go. Let me extend this a little wider so that I can have really fluffy shrubs. Make sure that you're using a ruler to draw these guidelines so that you get better lines than I am getting. All right, let's go. So now I want you to draw some circles. All right, so your circles, they can be ovals or circle. Now I don't want you to draw, oh, you're not seeing that, right? So let me draw in this space so you can see. You're going to draw some ovals or some circles. All right, if you are drawing your ovals or your circles and you realize that you're drawing them like this, then it is incorrect. All right, I want them to be this or this. So we're going to do our first one right here. And it can extend a little bit above or below the guideline that you have there. It is a guideline, and so it's okay. Oh, my little room is hot. I'm sweating. All right, now we're going to draw another one right here. All right. So there we go. That's my next, that's my second circle. So they're overlapping. I'm going to draw another one right here. Now try to get them to be to overlap, and you'll realize that one of the concepts of perspective, or one of the ways that you create the illusion of depth, is that the closer an object gets to the vanishing point, the smaller it gets and the narrower it is going to appear. Alright, so notice that my circles are getting smaller. And by virtue of the fact that these orthogonal lines get narrower as well, the circles are going to appear that way too. I'm going to skip that one. Alright, and there we have it. Now we can erase these guidelines because we don't want to confuse ourselves too much. So each time we're finished using a guideline, then we erase it. I'll fix that in a little while. Alright, I want this to be finished soon. I'm trying, because I want you to watch this to the end. Alright, don't want to bore you too much, you know. Alright, so these are also guidelines, but I'll tell you how to fix that in a little while. Now I'm going to want you to draw some vertical lines. Now a lot of times students draw these lines and they set like this. If you draw a line and it looks like this, it's not vertical. We're going to be drawing the bottom of the tree, the shrubs now. Alright? And the line must be parallel to the edge of your paper, which means that they go down like this. Good? Right. Okay. So let's erase what is incorrect so we can draw what is correct. And remember, if you want to get your line straight, just line up your ruler with the edge of your paper and slide it over. Now, the shrubs down here, they're the closer it is to you, the thicker this part of the tree is going to be. Pardon my science. Alright, so we're going to draw this one now. And notice that I'm not doing this. So I'm not taking it all the way down here. Right? I'm going to stop it right where the first one ended. Right? So it's almost like I'm getting a horizontal line there. Alright? But it's a root. Alright? Same thing with this one. Draw the one closer to the guideline first. And then we can always extend the other one somewhere up there. Alright, I hope you're learning something about drawing in perspective so far. Right, so that your drawing should look something like this. So the first one is the thickest. Now we want to change this up some more so that it, kind of look like shrubs that we know. So what I'm going to do, if I had a pencil, I would just do that and erase my guidelines. So I'm going to hope that this won't look too, too messy. All right, so these are my foliages. All right, so the circles were our guidelines. All right, it helps us to determine where what is going to be. right, there we're going, we're getting there, we're getting there. All right, so you see the overlapping happening now more. So now our trees actually look like shrubs. All right, they don't look like circles circles anymore. All right, and we don't want them to look like circles. We want them to look like they're actually shrubs there. All right, now guess what? This can't be that you have the road and then you have the shrubs right on the road, right? So we're going to draw another guideline from the vanishing point that steps away from the original line. So now we can erase this part of our guideline. Let's start to let our drawing appear a little more complete. All right, let's put in some mountains in the background. So what you're going to do is just draw a curved line. You can end it somewhere like there. I think it would come over here now. So let's continue like that. And then you could have another one that comes somewhere here. Not sure. And then you could have, let's put another one right there. All right. And I think that's enough, don't? I think so. But what's happening down here? Let's put let's put some bush down there, right? We come from country, so we're going to put some bush down there. So we're just drawing some curvy lines. All right, let's put one a little further into the composition, because you're doing a composition now, you don't even realize that you're doing a composition. You're doing an arrangement, right? All right, so now we know that this bush is a bit closer to us, so we can put another one right here. Let it come up a little closer to us so we can erase the line, the part of the horizon line that we're seeing there, right? We can even put a little let me not do that. All right, so now that we have that, we can put a fence on this side, right? We can put a fence on this side, man. So let's put a fence here. So we're going to draw an orthogonal line like this. All right. And let me put down this one a little further. Right. And then, well, it could have stayed. Don't erase your line. Don't worry about it. So now that we have this, I'm going to draw one other little line right up here. So by now, and my lines are getting a little jaggedy, but yours should be fine because you're using a ruler. All right. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 lines here. Now we need to draw some more vertical lines. All right. So the first one, as we know, is going to be a little fat. No, wrong thing. So we draw the right one first. All right. So we draw the right one first, right? We curve the line. So what I'm doing is this, right? Curve, then the left. Where these two lines are right here, that's where I draw a little ellipse. All right, and we'll look at ellipse in another class, but for now I'm just showing you how I get these stumps, as we would call them in country. All right, erase that part of the guideline that we don't want to see. Now, same thing, in the same way that as we go towards the vanishing point, our stumps are going to get a little, shorter. They are going to appear to be a little closer. That's okay because we're looking at 1 point perspective. All right, so right, curve, straight up. All right. Remember, if you are drawing your line and you realize that your ruler is setting like this, then it's incorrect. All right. they must be parallel to the edge of your paper. So even if mine looks a little crooked and lean, make sure you're straight. Yes, my room is hot, so I'm sweating. Alright. Alright, now I'm going to get my eraser and I'm going to erase the lines that I do not want to see. Let me just fix this up. Alright, so there I have it. Now I can even go over and put a fence here. So you would use your ruler, draw a horizontal line that matches this fence that is there, and you would draw your fence right around there. Right? And now you can go ahead and put in your fencing line. Still using the vanishing point, alright? Still using the vanishing point. Every line, every diagonal line that we draw must go towards the vanishing point. Alright, so there. Right, so those are my fencing lines. Alright, so I would still have this line right here. Alright, I think we're out of time. You can use this whole concept to, build something. You can fix up your windows. You already know how to find the center of a shape. So what you could do is draw your intersecting line, and there you have your vertical. You know where the middle of your window is. You know where the middle of your window is. So you can go and you can fix it up. You can put in French top on your door and stuff like that. Just have some fun. And see where this takes you, right? Another time we will look at adding color to our perspective drawing. So now we know that our yard is over there. We can add some fence to there is so much that you can do. All right, but I hope this kind of get you excited to want to try to do it on your own and experiment and explore. All right, so all the best, and I hope to see some of the things that you will do. All right, remember to upload your assignment to the classroom. All right, bye-bye.